I have 4 websites that are absolutely essential for me when I'm helping buyers here in St. Augustine and St. Johns County. And the good news is they are completely accessible to anybody. So I am going to share these 4 websites with you. And of course, if you don't want to do the work, if you don't want to have to mess with all this stuff, it's always good to speak to an agent, have someone like me do the work for you and share the results with you. But gosh, I know a lot of times it's 1 o'clock in the morning and you're really excited about moving to St. Augustine, moving to St. Johns County, and you want to do some of the stuff yourself. You just want to get in and get your hands dirty and dig around. Then, hey, I'm all about it. I'm all about helping you help yourself. And so let's look at these 4 websites that you have complete access to, 100% totally free. Just a lot of people, even agents, don't know about these. And so I want to equip you to help make your move. If you're looking at moving to St. Johns County, to St. Augustine, I want to make that as smooth as possible. So let's go ahead and hop into the first site. I'm going to shrink myself down here. Y'all don't need to see my big mug floating around. And for starters, this is super important for you numbers people, and you want to get some accurate info, then the St. Johns County tax website right here. And I'm actually going to close this tab down here so I can go from the beginning and show you what we got here. So you're going to come here to St. Johns County tax website and go to services, drop down here to property taxes, and go down to tax record search. Click that. And from right here, you can actually put in any address that you want to find out more about. So lots of little things I use this for. You can see I use this all the time as a bunch of things are dropping down here. But I'm going to go here to 97 Lumen Court. And you see it's already starting to fill in because I've looked at this several times before. And that's because this is my personal address. This pulls up a lot of info and you're kind of like, this stuff's all public, but it's really, there's nothing super secret here. This is all public info, so I don't mind sharing. This is my address right here, and you can come in here and you can see a lot of good info. And so one of the questions I get all the time is how much are the CDD fees in that particular neighborhood? If they have them, this is where you're going to find it here on the tax website, because unlike an HOA, a CDD, Community Development District fee, is paid on your tax bill. And so we look down here. I live in Beacon Lake, and that is part of the Meadowview at Twin Creek CDD. And you can see that I was charged $31.35 and paid $31.35, and there's $0 due. You also can see here that our trash, our recycling is all collected as part of our taxes. While I'm in here, let's just talk for just a quick second about the importance of homesteading. And just because I'm already in here anyways, you can see that we are homesteaded. And so that means that because there's 2 of us, we have a $25,000 homestead and another $25,000 homestead deduction here. And what that's doing is it's reducing, I'm sorry, I said a deduction, I meant exemption. And what's that doing is taking our assessed value. So our house right now is assessed for tax purposes at $429,000. And then we get $50,000 that is exempted. And so you see we're actually taxed as if our house is $378,000, $379,000 with this exemption here. So super important to do your homestead exemption. And another thing that does is it actually prevents this assessed value from going up more than 3% a year. So the taxable value of our house can't go up more than 3% a year, even if the value of our house goes up significantly more. And let me show you here. So go back to 2019 and look at our assessment here. We were assessed at $343,000. So can't go up more than 3% a year. Here's an exception. Now we're at $393,000. That's because we put a pool in. And so they are able to increase the assessed value for any improvements that you make. We put in a new pool, and so they reassessed us at $393,000 Again, with our exemption at $50,000, now we're $343,000. But as you see after that, every year, it just goes up, ticks up, ticks up, ticks up. Now, the good news for us in this case is our home's assessed at $428,000. We could get realistically 850 to, if we had the absolute perfect right buyer, I might be able to get $1 million for my home. I don't know. I think it's pretty special, but just being objective, 850, I think would probably be mid-market type range. Probably get a little bit more than that. My wife definitely wouldn't take less than that. But goodness, we've got a lot of gap between where our house assessment is and what our actual value of our home is. Now, that middle gap right there, we can actually take that and we can keep that. If we buy another house in Florida, we can take that gap, and it's called portability. We can take that and apply it to our next house. So let's say our next house is worth, let's say our kids are moving out, we're downsizing. We buy a house that's worth $600,000 and the county assesses it at $550,000. Let's say we've got $400,000 in that gap. We could take that and put it on the next house, and our next house would be we'd pay taxes as if it was $50,000. So that's pretty good. I don't know, portability, what the that chunk would be. If it would be 400,000, it would be 350,000, what they consider market value. But anyways, you can take that and apply that to your next house, and your next house, and your next house, which is pretty cool here in Florida. But all right, so the tax website, super valuable, super important. I use it all the time. And even if you just want to identify, who owns a particular address, sometimes if a house is off the market, send a letter to that person and see maybe if they're looking to sell, if I have buyers that are very specific on a particular house. But all right, so moving on, the second website and the third website connect. And the second website is the attendance zone information. Now, when you're looking at the MLS, let's pull this up right here, and let's head over to one of my listings I have here. Because I know this neighborhood really well, and I know what's happening with this, and we look at this here. You see here we have the schools are Ocean Palms, excellent elementary school. Alice B. Landrum, excellent elementary school. Excellent high school right here, Beachside High School, brand new. And so we see this beautiful pool home, and it's got these schools listed. And is that accurate? Yes, it is. Of course it is. My listing is going to be accurate. But is it accurate for next year? No, it is not, because these schools are actually going to be changing. We have a brand new school opening up in the neighborhood of this listing. And so that's going to change. So how do we see for sure, we're really interested in a house and we really want to see what schools that house is zoned for? Well, we can hop over here to the attendance zoning. I'm going to zip myself to the other side right here. And again, we look at it this year. And I might have to zip myself back over again. So we're going to enter the address. Let's stick with the same one, 472 Loose. It should pop up. Here it is. And we see, hey, look at that. It's zoned for Ocean Palms this year, Alice B. Landrum, and Beachside High School. So let's go back to, let me close this down, go back over here. And now we're going to go look at this one right here. So this is for 24-25. This is for next year. And let's put in the same address, 472 Loose. 472 Loose Drive. Here we go. And look at, K through 8 school 00, K through 8 school 00, and Beachside High School stays the same. Now, what is happening here? What is K through 8 school 00? Well, for for academies, which is kindergarten all the way through grade 8, and that's why this is the same school right here. The county, before they actually have a name for the school, they just give it a couple letters. So there's 00 is opening this year in 2024 in August, and is also ABON. N is, well, I guess NO. NN is in Shearwater opening this year. And so if you look up addresses in Shearwater, those kids that were maybe zoned for Timberland are going to be zoned for NN now. It just says NN because we don't have a name for the school yet. Right now, here at OO, I think it's in Beacon Lake. And so I think the names are tending towards Lakeside. So Lakeside Academy. And there's a big kerfuffle right now over what's the mascot going to be. I know Beacon Lake has an affinity. There's a joke in the neighborhood. Someone put a big Yeti Bigfoot up in the trees at one point. And so a lot of the residents are pushing for the Lakeside Yetis or the Lakeside Bigfoots or Big Feet. And then there's a lot of people that don't want that. They want something else. So a lot of drama right now, and we'll have to see where that lands in the next coming months. Actually, I think maybe later this month, they're going to settle on the name of the school and the mascot. So that's cool to see. What have we had the last few years? Pine Island Academy Dolphins. And you think that Dolphins might be not the coolest mascot, but it's actually a pretty mean looking dolphin. So we'll see what they come up with here at Beachside. So this is the first part. This is to make sure that you are getting accurate info on what school your home is zoned for. And then just a quick note, this is website number 3. This is a website called greatschools.org. And I'm sure there's other ones out there, and they all have their pluses and minuses. And everyone has different goals and different things they're looking for in different schools. And so typically, when I'm looking at schools, I'm looking at, test scores. And I know we're teaching to the test and all this kind of stuff. That's not what this video is about. But, we have to have solid numbers to look at. And so test scores are one good thing that we can look at. Whether you like that one or not, that is one that gets used. And so going to St. Johns County should give me districts here. There we go, St. Johns County. Click that. And you see here, we can see different schools, middle school. And then so sometimes you'll click here and middle school, elementary school is the same, Patriot Oaks, right at the top for both of those. And it's the same school because it's an academy. Here, when we talk about an academy, well, we could complicate it. There's a couple things when we talk about academies. But if we're talking about the school being an academy, then that is a kindergarten through grade 8. And so Patriot Oaks Academy, Liberty Pines Academy, Freedom Crossing Academy, Palm Valley Academy. These are all K through 8s. And then, boop, this one's different. This is Alice B. Landrum Middle School. That's actually the school that listing we just looked at is zoned for right now in Beacon Lake. That's changing to OO. Alice B. Landrum Middle School is just a middle school. So it's not an academy, and so on and so forth. You see the same with elementary. It's Patriot Oaks. Then Ocean Palms we just saw for Beacon Lake is changing to OO. Timberland Creek, not an academy. Boom, we have an academy, which is a K through 8. So then you know what that is. And then just talking about high schools. High schools are high schools. You got Nice, where Tebow played. Creekside, Ponte Vedra, Bartram Trail. What I'm not seeing pop up on these yet, and it's probably just because they don't have enough data yet, is we have brand new high schools that opened up here in St. Johns County, in northern St. Johns County. We have Tocoi Creek, which I think is in its third, maybe even its third or fourth year. And then Beachside High School is in its second year, I believe. It's going to have its first senior graduating class this year. So that's really exciting. But I don't see them showing up on these lists yet, at least not in the top lists. But you can go ahead and search on those if you want. Oh, and then just as another note, just for a touch point, when we talk about academies in relation to high schools, every high school in St. Johns County has different academies attached to it or within it, I guess. And they're basically electives. So you take your regular course schedule, and then your student, if they're in a particular academy, they're going to have another course that they'll take. and it's specialized. Everything from like Nice High School has engineering. They have an IB program. They have Navy, JROTC. They have a communications academy that's split into television production and digital design. And so then you go over to Beachside, the new one of the new schools. They have veterinary medicine. They have a logistics track. So different schools, different academies. And so if your student wants to specialize in something, then they can apply into those academies, which is on a lottery basis. And if they get in and you're not zoned for that particular school, they can still attend. You just have to take care of transportation, and they can go to that academy. So pretty cool. Really like the academy system here. Both my kids did academies in high school at Nice High School, and had a really good experience with that. All right, so 1, 2, 3, and then let's take a look at number 4. So there's Eddie there. Number 4 is the property tax appraiser website. And there's one particular map tool in here that I really, really, really like. Now, I'm not looking at the appraiser site typically to figure out home values, because as you saw, my house is valued at, $400 and whatever $1,000, and its market value is actually significantly much higher than that. But this website is amazing for a lot of different things. And so what we want to do is come here, and we're just going to go here to search. You can go right to search maps or search property records. And so looking at property records, search by location address. And let's see, I'm going to shrink myself down here a little bit more so I'm a little more out of the way. Let's go ahead and look at 1620, and it fills in as you go. This is another listing I have for some land. And so with land listings, of course, you get a lot of different questions on things. And as we're looking at this, we can look at taxes and all these other things here. But what I want to focus on right here is the map. So we're going to click on the map, and then we can actually drag this around. We can zoom in and out. We can change a lot of the layers and things. But this is just really, really, really handy. Now, I like to use this for a lot of different things. And one of the main things I use this for is I like to make measurements. And so if we click on this, we can see the information on the property. And then this little tool right here is a measuring tool. Let me close this down here. I don't know if I can close it right now or not. 1, 2, 3, close. All right, I'm just going to click somewhere. Oh, I'm stuck in the... Bear with me for a second here, people, please. All right, let's go back to information. I'm going to click on a different thing just so I can open this up. And we can see this whole thing right here. Or if I click lower on it. There we go. Perfect. All right, so we got this map tool here. And let's say I wanted to know what the width of the property is. Well, I can click on the measurement tool, and we can go all the way across here, right? And so we can see that there's 867 feet from this side of the property to this side of the property. And I'm sure this isn't exactly precise in where you're putting your little dots, so you're going to be plus or minus a few feet, but it is definitely handy for doing measurements. Also for seeing who owns other property around the property that you're looking at. So who owns this property to the south? Well, St. John's River Water Management owns this property. That's because they have a pipeline that's running, a water pipeline that's running down through here. You can see who owns all the different land in the different areas over here and who owns the adjoining property, St. Mark's Pond Property LLC. And so you could do more research on that as needed. Or another thing I like to use this for, let's just zoom out here for a second and go up to an area I'm familiar with, a little more familiar with. Oh, look at that. You can see Beach Walk right here. Let's zoom in here. So a lot of times I have buyers that are like, how much preserve do I have? So let's say we live on, you're looking at this, oops. Let's say you were looking at one of these properties right here. You're looking at Cape Grace Court, and you're looking at this lot right here. So Dreamfinders owns this lot as a builder right now, and we're looking at this, and you're concerned how much preserve is actually behind me. Like, how close am I to the other houses on the other side? How much tree cover is there? Well, again, with the measuring tool, very handy. So yeah, you got almost 400 feet of preserve back in this area. And then you ask, well, who owns that land? Is that land going to stay preserve? And so we can click on this and we can see South Jacksonville Properties LLC. We can do the research on that just to make sure it's actual preserve land and they're not going to like stick a neighborhood right here in this area or something like that. Oh, and then another great use is, let's go to one of my other listings here I have in Beacon Lake, right down here at the end. This is down here on Windermere. This is a great house. Love this house. Probably not still available by the time you're watching this, but you know, just in case. All right, so let's say you wanted to take a look at this. Now this has a balcony off of it, and so you can actually get good views this way. So we know, man, we got some nice sunset views right here. And then we're able to look and see, you know, this is all owned by the CDD, so this land is never going to be developed. It's never going to change, so this preserve is going to stay. And then we can check the, how much preserve cover do we have here to the property line? 140 feet, that's a good chunk. So clear and finish. And then if I want to know approximately how big is this lot? Well, we can go all the way around here. We see that it is finish. It's about a third of an acre, just about a third of an acre. We got the linear feet, or, you know, customer asks, how much fence should I get quotes for? I wouldn't totally just rely on this itself, but if you're just looking for a quick rough estimate, sort of a measurement, then super handy to be able to go, well, you can put fences from about the middle of the house in Beacon Lake, go to the property line, go here, go along the property line, all the way back to here, and then you put your gate there, click finish, and we see we got 381 feet. So if you're pricing out a fence, at least you can get a rough estimate there. You could do things like, man, if we put our, you know, pool here, let's say, you know, the pool was gonna stick out with the deck and everything 40 feet, and then it was, you know, you can do all that. You could do all these different little things here and just kind of get a view for what you got left there. Anyways, that's what get out of here. Clear, finish, clear. I don't know. Anyways, I'm stuck right now. Measuring all over. I got to tap pause on that, and just, you don't want to sit here and watch me struggle on the struggle bus with all this stuff. So the appraiser's website, the map tool is absolutely incredible. There's a lot of other things you can do with this. You can look up, if you look over on the side here, you can look up flood maps. You can look up railroads. You can look up all sorts of different things. Address numbers. Actually, I have those on here right now. So this is 745 Windermere. You can get rid of the parcels if you want and just have the address number. So if you're looking at that, if you instead of lot numbers, you're looking at the addresses, you can see all the addresses of the houses here. You can go through and see who owns what homes and all that good info. It's all right here. It's all completely free. It's all public. And so again, my name is Austin. It's on the website. You should know. I am here for you guys. If you're looking to move to the area, I would absolutely love to help you do a lot of this kind of stuff so you don't have to. But again, if you like getting your hands dirty, you like digging in yourself, then happy to hop on a Zoom and show you how to use this stuff. A lot of times I shoot videos like this for people moving from out of town, looking at specific properties, making sure that they are not buying something that's going to back up onto storage lots or, you know, back up onto a school and have all the trees cleared out, then you're just staring at a school instead of nice forest behind your house. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here to help you guys do, or also to help equip you guys to do this yourselves as well. Reach out, here to help, and look forward to catching up with you guys on the next video. Like, subscribe, all that stuff.